You mentioned Virgil Stanion as well. What about Jaron Ennis? Maybe him too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Boots, for sure, man. You know what I'm saying? Boots is phenomenal, man. I like these guys are good. I'm not saying nothing bad about them, but I'm in the mix, man. I'm going to show the world that I belong on that level. I belong on the stage. That Boots, nobody want to fight him, the boogeyman. I'm not scared of the boogeyman. I never was. Not even when as a kid, you know what I'm saying? So I'll fight with the Boots. I'll fight to Keith Thurman. I'll fight
Virgil.
Virgil Ortiz, Tony Ennis, all of them. Any one of them guys I want next, man. I want next.
Okay.
After this fight, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go through my thing. God willing, we both come out of there healthy, but I know I'm coming out victorious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's on to the next, man.
I think stuff is gonna always happen when it comes to trying to fight Boots, man. Being that he's in the IBF, I mean, I don't know what route I would have to take to even get it, but I wouldn't back down for nothing like that, man. You know, I feel like
Boots,
that would people don't understand, like, that's part of the game, man. You got to fight the top fight. I mean, Boots was actually worked the corner where in Philadelphia when I fought one of his friends, Pizarro.
Brandon Pizarro, yep.
Yeah, he was working his corner or whatever, and he even told me myself that I beat him in that fight. You know what I mean? I think I would like to fight with Boots since nobody else gonna fight him. You know, everybody gonna run around from him. I won't. I'll fight.
Stop.
Everybody, I just put the welterweight on notice, man. I'm here to stay. I'm for real. Anybody. Boots, anybody. Stonianis, anybody. Whoever want to come get it.
Anybody.
I don't care who it is. You put the Incredible Hulk in front of me and I'll fight. I don't care who it is, and I'm gonna come up victorious. Everybody talking too much. They talking about saying this, saying that. Shut up and sign some contract and make it happen. Stop talking so much.
Is that like a discouraging thing about boxing? Because, you know, when you start boxing, right, I know you love being in the gym. Like, you live for this. You're one of those guys I can tell love boxing. You really love boxing.
Yeah, I be there having fun, man.
Yeah.
If it ain't fun, don't do it. And it's hard to be somebody that's fun. It's hard to be somebody that's having fun and doing what they doing. And they hungry, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's different. That's why a lot of guys don't want to fight me. I'm hungry. I'm having fun doing what I'm doing, you know.
And you're young, dude.
I'm young. I'm making it easy, you know. I'm just ready.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of everybody talking. Like I say, just shut up and send that contract and let's make it happen. I'm talking too much.
Yeah. Is that the discouraging thing, though? Because, like, you know, when you step up in the levels, boxing becomes, like, more of a business. And does that ever discourage you, like?
No, it ain't discouraging me, you know. They ain't doing nothing but making it worse than they so. I'm going to continue to keep getting better.
Yeah.
It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so this is a video I've been wanting to get to. It's been in my notes for about a week and a half, 2 weeks since I thought about making this video. And, you know, I've been real busy with covering the Don King show, covering the Top Rank show, doing these lives, doing interviews. I've just been a busy man overall with the boxing and whatnot. But nonetheless, we're finally getting to it. And it concerns the welterweight division. And it concerns Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, no matter what nobody says, Jaron Ennis is one of my favorite fighters in boxing. He's one of the best fighters I've ever seen fight live. But every time I say something that's not 100% favorable to him or something that the Jaron Ennis fan base doesn't like, they get militant. They put the pom-poms, Booth pom-poms in the air, the Philadelphia Eagles, Philadelphia Phillies pom-poms in the air, and they call me a hater. They say, oh, I'm this and I'm that. But the reality is, I've been covering Jaron Ennis on YouTube longer than a lot of people in boxing, so that's just the reality. I'm a big fan of his. Now, that being said, we know that Boots was recently upgraded to IBF champion due to the fact that Terence Crawford expressed on numerous occasions that he had no interest in fighting Jaron Ennis. So the IBF listened to what Crawford said very carefully and very tactfully, and with Boots being the mandatory, they decided to strip him, and they upgraded Boots to world champion. He got the email, all right? Didn't have to fight for the belt in the ring, but he's champion now, so good for him. He's got a good bargaining chip. He should be able to get bigger and better fights. But the reality is, so far, 31 fights into his career, Boots has not been afforded the opportunity to get those big fights. Crawford is not interested in fighting him. He paid his dues. He's not interested in fighting him, right? Spence is not interested in fighting him. They have a contractual rematch to fight each other again. So he's not going to get those fights anytime soon, if ever. Okay, and they're both moving up to 54. Well, Spence wants to fight at 54. Crawford hasn't made the decision yet, but it's expected that he'll be moving up to 54, right? So he's not fighting Crawford and Spence. That much we know, okay? When you look at the landscape of the division, the welterweight division is missing big names. I mean, I've suggested fights that I'd like to see between, Boots and Giovanni Santillan. The Boots fans say that they don't want to see that fight because it doesn't do nothing for Boots. I say I want to see him fight Jin Sasaki from Japan because I think it'll be an entertaining fight. They say, who the hell is Jin Sasaki? That does nothing for Boots, right? So my thing is this: if Boots is not fighting, if he's not gonna fight Giovanni Santillan, Jin Sasaki, the Thurman Stanionis winner, Josh Taylor or Conor Benn, there really are a lot of big names out there for him. I mean, well, he's gonna fight Cody Crowley. He's gonna fight Rashidi Ellis coming off of a loss to the guy he just beat in Roman V. I mean, come on, let's be real here, right? So all I'm trying to say is there's not a lot of big names out there for Boots, but just because the top guys don't want to fight him doesn't mean that Boots gets afforded the luxury of twiddling his thumbs and not doing anything. He should have to fight someone to stay busy. I think there's some good stay busy fights out there for Boots, and there's one in particular that I would like to see. Now, there's a fighter that I came across this year. I've interviewed him 3 times. And all 3 times I've interviewed him, he's been very adamant about wanting to fight Jaron Ennis. And that man is none other than Tre'Sean Wiggins, the number 15 ranked WBA contender. The man that, signed the Don King. He's a good example. Before we get into Boots versus Tre'Sean and why I want to see it, let me just tell you all this. Tre'Sean is an amazing example in boxing of, with his record being 16-5-3. He's a good example of being better than your record would indicate, because he's one of those fighters where, this boxing business is very difficult to make it in. And he didn't have good representation and good management early in his career, so he was fighting all kinds of crazy fights. I mean, if you go look at his resume, he fought like Jason Sosa in his second pro fight, and he actually wound up knocking out Jason Sosa in 1 round because one of the local matchmakers in Philadelphia, I think it was Russell Peltz, he tried to get Tre'Sean Wiggins beat because that fight happened within like 2 months. He tried to get a beat on short notice, right? So he's had to go against the odds his whole career. And I think it's just been these last couple of years where he's really found himself. He's been able to develop, actually fighting like 10-rounders and develop at a good slow pace. But, I mean, he's better than the 16-5-3 record indicated. And I want to go through it real quickly because people will always say, BT, why are you bigging up Tre'Sean Wiggins? I'm bigging up Tre'Sean Wiggins because Tre'Sean Wiggins is a good fighter, and I like to see him get the opportunities to see what he can do against some of the best in the division. And I think him versus Boots makes sense. Now, he lost 10 years ago to the once highly touted prospect Jerome Rodriguez. Jerome Rodriguez has like a crazy, ugly record now where he's like 7-15. So I don't know if he just stopped training or did drugs or just started messing around with women. But he was 3-1 when Tre'Sean fought him. Tre'Sean got stopped. That was 10 years ago. People want to hold that against him. But I would seriously hope that in your life, people aren't holding mistakes that you made 10 years ago over your head, We all do get the chance to afford to be developed and evolve in life, and the same applies to fighters, right? In 2016 and 2017, he lost 2 very close decisions. One to Benjamin Whitaker, the other one to Michael Fox. Boots knows about Tre'Sean Wiggins because Tre'Sean Wiggins has fought 2 Philadelphia fighters, and he's won 0-1. Tre'Sean Wiggins has never lost to a Philadelphia fighter in his entire career. In 2019, he fought one of Jaron Ennis' really good friends, Brandon Pizarro, in Philadelphia, and got a draw as the B-side. And you guys know, if you're the B-side fighter fighting in someone's hometown and you got a draw, normally means you probably won the fight, but they just wanted to keep the other guys, record intact. So that's kind of what happened there. Same thing happened. He fought Mike-Quan Williams from New York in his hometown, got a draw there. So he's been the road warrior. The fight before Pizarro, he fought the legendary, I don't want to say legendary, but very good fighter in Tsunami Samuel Teya. Rest in peace to him. True warrior. We know that Samuel Teya has beaten guys like Oshaki Foster, and he beat somebody else who was really good too. He beat him. He beat Tsunami Samuel Teya. He knocked out he knocked out Jason Sosa on short notice. And ever since, and then he fought Alberto Palmetta in 2020. Got stopped in that fight, but since then he's remained unbeaten. So my thing is this: I'm setting the stage, and I'm telling you guys. He also fought Richard Hitchens early in Hitchens' career and wound up losing to him on a Mayweather Promotions card, right? So my thing is this: ever since that fight, Tre'Sean has grown since the Palmetto fight and the Pizarro fight. He's gotten better. You know, he's a very boxer at a very high level, good IQ, you know, above average puncher. I would like to see him fight Boots. If Boots can't get the big fights against some of the names I mentioned, like, you know, the Thurman Stanionis winner, or Josh Taylor, or Conor Benn, or, you know, Jin Sasaki, or any of them guys, I feel like this fight would be a good stay busy fight for him, because one thing I know about it, if history tells me anything about Tre'Sean Wiggins, he's already gone to Philadelphia twice in the backyard and fought Samuel Taya and Brandon Pizarro. It would be nothing to him to go fight Jaron Ennis in Philadelphia, because that's a fight that would do a lot for his career. That would be the fight where he could show what he could do. And look, for Boots, style-wise, I don't think it just does something for Tre'Sean. I think it actually would do something for Boots, because the reality is this. When you look at, and I'm not talking about names, so don't think I'm putting Jaron Ennis down, but when you look at the styles of fighters Boots has been fighting in his career, Romain Villa, Custio Clayton, Thomas Delorme, Lipinets, you know, a lot of these guys have one thing in common. Bakhtiar Yubov. A lot of these guys have one thing in common. And what is that one thing in common? They don't really move too much. They can't punch in the move. They don't move very well. They're cement-footed. They plod. So a lot of these guys, for as good as, you know, Jaron Ennis is talented, but a lot of these guys, they have styles that allow him to look even better than he actually is, you know? I want to start seeing Boots fight more guys that move, you know? We saw and I hate to bring it up, but I'm bringing it up because it's just something. I saw the fight. You saw the fight. I saw the fight. He fought Karen Chukajan. Karen Chukajan was circling that ring, and Boots had a hard time finding him. The only thing is Karen Chukajan can't punch on the move, so that's why Boots was able to win the fight. But Tre'Sean Wiggins can punch on the move. He can pivot, reverse pivot. Very high-level fighter. You know, fought plenty of fought plenty of names in the sport. Been in camp with the guys like, was it Danny Garcia, I think Kavaluskis. He's no stranger to high-level, you know, sparring, fighting good guys. I just think that'd be a good fight for Boots to be in there with a good, slick, you know, high IQ southpaw fighter. And that kind of experience, I think a Tre'Sean Wiggins type of fight. If Boots, I'm gonna say it like this: if Boots ever has any real ambition of fighting Terence Crawford, he can't keep fighting Bakhtiar Yubov and Juan Carlos Abreu and who else? Sergey Lipinets, them styles are nothing like Crawford. Okay, if you want to fight a Terence Crawford caliber type of fighter, I think Tre'Sean Wiggins is probably one of the best styles in the welterweight division that could emulate that. And I know that if Boots and his team, they passed that paperwork down to Tre'Sean Wiggins and the fine folks at Don King Productions, I'd be hard pressed to believe that Tre'Sean Wiggins would not take that fight. I'd have a hard time believing it because of his history and who he's fought and the fact that he's already gone into Boots' backyard 2 times. And Boots was there. Tre'Sean said it when I interviewed him. Boots was there when he fought Brandon Pizarro. So Boots knows who Tre'Sean Wiggins is. And I want to look. I'm not saying it's the #1 fight I want to see, because there's bigger fights out there for Boots. I'm realistic. But if you tell me, True School BT, what's the best fight in the welterweight division that could get Boots Ennis ready for a fight against someone like Terence Crawford, I would say Tre'Sean Wiggins has the best style, because he has the one quality of being a southpaw and being able to punch on the move out that southpaw stance. Very few fighters in the weight class have that attribute, so that's why I like the fight. Boots would obviously be the favorite, but I like the fight for so many reasons. I think Boots would get good preparation for Crawford. Tre'Sean gets a big fight to show what he could do. It's a good win on all fronts, but you know, I'm not the guy that makes the decision. I'm just a kid from Dania with a flamingo painting on his wall who loves the sport of boxing. So I'm just thinking out loud here, right? Because I respect all fighters and the journey in the sport, and you know, I realize that there's more to boxing in the welterweight division than just Jaron Ennis, Terence Crawford, and Errol Spence. And I'm trying to give y'all a large picture, put y'all on game. So, you know, I was at Tre'Sean Wiggins' last fight. He fought the guy that Adrian Broner pulled out of fighting, Chris Howard. And I think that fight's a good indicator of something I think he's capable of. You know, he pivots real well, can punch on the move. I have the highlights here on my channel if you want to check it out. You know, he's better than the 16-5-3 record would indicate. It's just bad management early in his career, taking fights he probably shouldn't have been. I mean, just for example, right? And I'll end the video on this note because I'm very big into fighter development, and I'm always on BoxRec looking at how fighters move, because I do have ambitions one day myself, maybe managing a fighter or two and just giving it an honest try. If you look at how they're both developed, Jaron Ennis and Tre'Sean Wiggins, right? I would say that Jaron Ennis was a fighter that, you know, he had Cameron Duncan. I don't know how long he had Cameron Duncan, so someone can let me know in the comments. But for the most part, he's been moved pretty well. Boots didn't have his first 8-round fight till his 14th pro fight, and that was when he fought, what's the guy's name? Boots fought a guy named Ricardo Cano, who was 17-25. That was his first 8-rounder, and that was his 14th pro fight. Now, Tre'Sean Wiggins, on the other hand, his first 8-round fight was when he fought Michael Fox. Now, I don't know about you, Michael Fox, Ricardo Cano, I'm going to say Michael Fox is a better fighter than Ricardo Cano. He fought his first 8-rounder in his 10th pro fight, and he lost a close decision. So that right there, just that one example, that's one of many examples I can give you of how, you know, albeit Tre'Sean is a very solid welterweight, development and management is very important because, you know, Boots he was afforded the opportunity to fight a lot of 4-rounders, a couple 6-rounders, and didn't fight. And by the time he got to 8-rounder, he had already had, you know, 13 fights under his belt. As for Tre'Sean, first 8-rounder, he's fighting tall, lanky-ass Michael Fox. And he was able to, you know, he lost, but it was a close fight. So I'm waffling on here, but I just wanted to make this video just to you know, talk about something different in the welterweight division. Tre'Sean Wiggins has, I think, been developed better as a fighter towards the end of his career. He's 32 now. Give the man his shot. Give the man his shot. If you can't make the big fights happen, I think Tre'Sean Wiggins' style. And guys, before you start typing in about his record and saying what he will and won't do for Boots, just go watch him fight. Go look at his style, and please tell me that. Name me a fighter in the division who has a style that's as close to Terence Crawford as Tre'Sean Wiggins out that southpaw stance. If he wants to fight Terence Crawford down the future, that's the kind of fight that I believe will do wonders for him in getting ready for Terence Crawford. But what do I know? So, yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.